Good morning, and welcome to this seventh Monday address from me. Uh, that means that we've been through 6 weeks of the shelter in place. COVID 19 has exacted upon us, and I am hopeful and prayerful that in the near future that we'll start being able to get outside and maybe even go to some places with social distancing and all the other requirements to see some of the people that we have missed through this time. I've missed each one of you. Um, it's 6 weeks of being in your home or close to your home. I come to the church occasionally because we got some business up here, and I'm alone in my office, so it's pretty safe. And we also are up here. Some of the skeleton staff are up here filming these online services. So for me, there's a little bit of a break getting out. I'm not allowed in any other places by my wife uh, and by the medical community, but as you are. But I know that it gets difficult sometimes when you're home a lot. Laura and I have been married for over 40 years, and we still are quite fond of one another. We actually like each other, and that's good. However, when we're together all the time, we sort of have to get apart occasionally and have our own quiet time. It's not that we run out of things to say. It's just that we're used to that. We're used to that through our own kind of life cycle where she goes to work and I go to work and we come back together and we kind of digest the day and talk about it and that sort of thing. But to be together every day, all day is a new thing for us. And with my upcoming retirement, the fact that she's going to work another year will help me get used to the routine of being at home. Um, but but one of the things that I've noticed is that every single one of us during this period may have a down day, may be a little depressed. That's normal. That's perfectly normal because our normal is different now. Our patterns are different. And as I get older, I like my patterns, but I'm learning to adjust. And and I got to thinking the other day as I was is considering what was going on and being a little depressed. I started thinking about it and thinking, no, so why are you depressed? And when I said why, I remembered a conversation I'd had with God many years before when I was going through a very difficult time. I kept saying, why, Lord? Why is this happening? And I could almost hear the Lord saying to me, well, why not? Everybody else has to. Why not you? But what became a part of that, more so than anything else, is not why, but what am I supposed to be learning in this new normal? What new things do I need to learn to be able to live for your glory and to live with others in this time? And I got to thinking about that. I've learned kind of a new patience. I've learned that things don't always have to go at high speed, that you can actually slow things down a little bit, and it's going to be okay, the slowing down. Um, I've, I've learned to appreciate the relationships that I do have, the friendships, the people that I get to see, the ones I miss so much. Many of you, I miss seeing you. Well, I've learned to appreciate you in a new way, and I'm anxious to see you again. These are all kind of things that I'm learning as I go along, and each phase of my life I'm going to be learning something new. A couple of weeks ago we talked about learning a new empathy for persons who are shut-ins. We've gotten a taste of that. They don't get a reduction of their sentence of being in all the time. After this is all over and people are going out to the show or to the theater or to the restaurants, they're still at home. So I'm learning a new empathy towards these persons that will allow me to give them a call or go by and take some food or just brightening their days a little bit. These are all things that we can learn, and I think we talked about imprints last week. I think these are things that can imprint themselves on us. Things aren't going to be the same after this. It's going to take a while for us to get into whatever the new normal is. But I do know that God can teach us new things. The other thing I'm learning is I'm not in control. If I ever had that illusion, um, it's gone. I may be able to control some of the decisions I make on a daily basis by seeking to live for Christ. But in terms of the bigger picture, I'm not in control. And I've got to learn to be okay with that. As much as I'd like to be, I don't think I'm qualified for it. Now, I believe ultimately God's in control of everything. And I don't hear me saying that God sent COVID-19 to afflict the people so that they would be drawn closer to Him. That's just not so. Last couple of weeks ago, I talked in a sermon about acts of God and acts of nature. Acts of nature are those things that happen naturally that are a part of this created world that we're living in. An act of God would be I called up a shut-in because I had a heart for that person and I relieved a little of their loneliness. That's an act of God. An act of nature is COVID-19 or a hurricane or thunderstorms or things like that. So there's a big difference. When I talk about God being in control, I'm talking about God being in control ultimately of our souls and spirits. And God can bring us comfort. God can bring us direction from this place where we are. So I hope that you're asking the question, what am I supposed to be learning right now? And that you live into that. Soon, very soon, I hope to see you all. God bless. Have a blessed week.